Welcome to Neo Royal House of Pricey Cardboard. On today's episode of Commander Gameplay, we're gonna take you in a journey of fear, pain, and betrayal. This episode, as all of our content, is brought to you by our ever so generous Patreons. If you would like to support the channel, there's a link in the description. You can also simply share us with your MTG playgroup for the very fair price of free. I will be playing Vial Smasher and Bruse. This Angel, Demon and Dragon deck wants to ram quickly into big creatures and give them additional keywords or combat step to take out the table. Vial Smasher is also here to throw some bonus damage around. Kelly will be playing Gold Color Gisa, the original mono black deck in our collection. Truly a powerful list. She wants to sacrifice creatures with big power to make an army of zombies and take down our opponents by pumping them with lords or artifacts. BT will be playing Rhys the Redeemed. The Celestia General wants to create a lot of tokens and then make more tokens until the game is over, winning either by combat or other evil plans BT might have. Last but not least, Emma will be playing Arahbo, Roar of the World. She is running Kahira the Orphan Guard as her companion, meaning that every creature in her deck is either a cat, an elemental, a nightmare, a dinosaur, or a beast. They're cats. It's all cats. This cat tribal list wants to get fast in the action with low-costed cats with keywords. When we go higher in the mana curve, it's mostly lords or enchantment to help close the game. There's still a slight sub-theme of equipments, but nothing too big. Emma's opening hand contains Fleeced Mane Lion, Chaos Anthem, Migration Path, Exploration, Sungrass Prairie, a basic forest, and a basic plains. Pretty good hand, only lacking in the draw department. With the Exploration on turn 1, we could see the Lion drop on 2 and the Migration Path on 3, which tempo-wise is pretty good. She has to find a way to refuel her hand. My opening hand contains Sour of Discord, Generous Gift, Painful Truth, Aggravated Assault, Godless Shrine, and 2 basic mountains. This is an okay hand. My lands give me access to my colors and both my commanders. I have a draw spell with a removal, pretty well rounded. Kelly's opening hand contains Undead War Chief, Entomb, CDC Undead Vizier, Solemn Simulacrum, Mana Crypt, and 2 basic swamps. Now that's what I call a starting hand. We've got the Crypt that can lead to a turn 2 Solemn into a turn 3 Gisa, a Lord in hand ready for zombies, and 2 fetch. Can't go wrong with that. BT's opening hand contains Primeval Bounty, Birds of Paradise, Priest of Titania, Explore, a Soul Ring, and 2 basic forests. A lot of mana on BT's side as well. In the first early turns he will have dropped a lot of ramp. You only need to keep the gas coming and this will be great. We will be playing today with a variant of planechase I made for Halloween. I'll go quickly over the new rules for the deck. Zones act as plane from planechase. You can use a D6 to navigate them. 1 triggers chaos, while 5 and 6 lets you escape the current zone. Players can't react to the new zone, all effects take place before anyone gains priority. This is mainly to prevent black deck to be at a big advantage. Zone naturally flip at down, which is at the end of the untap step. Morning Comes is the maximum number of upkeep a zone can stay, and Survival is the minimum of upkeeps a zone can stay. There is 5 events in the deck that act like sorceries with split second, and that's pretty much it. The rest is on the cards. I want to give a quick thank you to Bradley Rose who took the time to review my Halloween deck and gave me his feedback. Check him out and his friend on YouTube at Beacon of Creation. They have a series named 11th Edition where they design 11 version of a specific magic card like Raise Dead or Balance. Let's get into this game. Welcome to the Halloween special. Today, we will follow the misadventure of a group of casters that fight between each other while their surrounding wants them dead as well.
On the first down, our adventurer seems to have gained the ability to do rod casting, using mana from lost spells on the ground. Probably not the most useful on turn 1.
BT land drops a forest and casts Soul Ring. I land drop a mountain and through the power of top deck, cast a Soul Ring of my own. Kelly land drops a swamp, and Emma land drops a forest. She then casts Exploration, and use it to land drop a Sungrass Prairie.
As our heroes continue to set up camp, the morning comes, only to reveal more atrocities. Blood magic.
BT then drops a plane, and casts Oracle of Muldaya. Revealing the top card of his deck, he land drops Gaia's Cradle. This man, I swear. He then casts his commander, Rhys the Redeemed. It does feel good to be whole again, in honor and horn. He does not discard and pays the cost with blood for both. I'll end up Godless Shrine untapped and cast my first commander, Bruse Boorish Herder.
May your horns get lodged in Ildraz's bony face, ordinary brute.
Now?
Give it to Rhys! Give it to Rhys!
To Rhys!
Do you take 5 from your thing or no?
Think I'm gonna discard. Oh no, I'm gonna take 5. I ain't scared. I made the game.
I ain't never scared.
I keep my cards and take 5 as well. Kitty then drops a swamp. She casts Mana Crypt and follow it up with Solemn Simulacrum, choosing blood both times. Entering the battlefield, she fetches a swamp to her board. Emma then drops a Plains and casts Fleece Mane Lion. Emma decides to give away some resources and discards a card.
A light can be seen further ahead. Our adventurers can now attempt to leave the blood magic behind. BT leads the party and successfully escapes the zone. To his dismay, all these movements provokes the attack of the cadaver worm. Rhys is lost in the worm's hunting grounds.
BT casts Primeval Bounty. He then land drops a forest, gaining 3 life. He casts Birds of Paradise. The bounty creates a beast token.
And the bird is immediately eaten by the worm.
I then drop a mountain and cast my second commander, Vial Smasher the Fierce.
Watch out, watch out!
Going into combat, Bruse attacks Kelly for 4. Kelly succeeds her Crypt trigger. She then drops the swamps and casts her commander, Gold Collar Gisa.
Oh, wake up, my lovelies! There's work to be done!
Emma sadly does not find any more land to expand her base and casts Gaia Zentem. Heading into combat, Arahbo triggers on the Fleece Mane Lion, and the kitty goes to me.
As the worm seems to lose interest, this endless running brought our party into unknown territory. The new dawn reveals the Nightmare Halls.
BT casts Sylvan Library. His bounty puts 3+1/+1 counters on the Oracle, and then casts Seedborn Muse, creating a beast token. For his combat, he sends a beast and his Oracle to me. BT untaps with me, and I land drop a mountain. I cast a Worn Power Stone, and Vial Smasher throws some explosive to Emma. Not quite done, I head into combat, and attack Emma with Bruse. Kelly succeeds her Crypt trigger again, and then drops Westvale Abbey. She truly seems to be quite at home in this forsaken place. She casts Crypt Ghast, and follow it up with Undead War Chief. Emma then drops a Plains, and worried about the sudden rise of power on Kelly's side, casts Journey to Nowhere, targeting Crypt Ghast. Kelly activates Gisa to sacrifice Crypt Ghast and make 2 zombie tokens. Emma then casts Trained Caracal. At the end step, I cast Generous Gift on Seedborn Muse. Vial Smasher triggers for 3 damage to BT, and the man of the hour is generously compensated with nothing less than a whole elephant.
Wandering around, our heroes manage to find the exit of these endless walls, but life does not feel the same. A metallic taste and feel is omnipresent. This is Phyrexian Legacy.
Sylvan Library triggers at BT's draw step. He decides to keep all 3, taking 8. BT then land drops a Plains, gaining 3. He casts Explore. The bounty puts 3 counters on the Oracle. He draws a card and does not put a land into play. He goes into combat and sends the ever-growing Oracle to me. BT then casts Priest of Titania, creating another beast token. Considering the cradle on the table, these beasts are some great additional value. I then drop a Plains, and pay a red and 4 life for Aggravated Assault. Vial triggers for 3 at Kelly.
Seeing all his artifacts are currently useless, Neo tries to lead the party to some safer ground. They manage to escape the Phyrexian fields. At first, nothing strikes them. No restriction, no loss of capabilities. But as our heroes try and communicate with their creatures, they realize that the infection is real. This is Infectious Beasts.
Going into combat, an infectious Bruse attacks BT. All of his beasts manage to take down Bruse, but he loses all of them. I cast Painful Truth, paying 3 different colors. I then cast Fellwar Stone.
Feeling like this zone could be his demise, Neo tries to escape the zone once more, but both attempts lead to nowhere.
Kelly succeeds her Mana Crypt trigger, and then drops Urbog, Tomb of Yawgmoth, tenting every land that the eye can see. She then casts Entomb, putting to graveyard Filth.
Before attacking, our necromancer tries to anger her beast, but by doing so the infection stops. Soul seems to stop for a moment and be bonded to this plane of existence. This is Karlov's blessing.
Going into combat, Kelly spread the damage with her unblockable creatures. In second lane, Kelly casts CDC, Undead Vizier. She exploits Solep, drawing a card and tutoring. She gets a spirit from the blessing. For her turn, Emma puts her companion to her hand for 3 generic mana. She then leads the offensive, Arahbo buffs the trained Caracal, and she sends it to BT. My pal the Lion comes back to me. BT searches some more into the Sylvan Library, taking only his fair share this time. He casts Mana Crypt, and then casts Genesis Wave, where X equals 9. Nobody has reaction, and the Celestia Mage summons to his field Epic Struggle, Beastmaster Ascension, Mossword Bridge, Barrel Lives, Doubling Season, V2, Gazi, the City Tree. Martial Coup Declaration and Storm Court of Calling are sent to the graveyard since they are not permanents. The bounty triggers twice on the lands, and BT hide away a card under the bridge. He then land drops Dark Depth from the top of his deck, gaining 3 life, and repeat the process with Windswept Ease.
Trying to outrun Kelly's unstoppable army, BT rolls to escape, but the fog is too thick and he ends up back in camp.
I land drop a Clifftop Retreat and cast Species Specialist. Reacting to my cast, Kelly activates Gisa to sack a zombie for 4 more zombies. Vial Smasher triggers for 4 at Kelly. Mimicking BT's strategy, I try and get to a new zone.
As the fogs clear, a sudden reality becomes visible. The sun has set.
I then cast Sower of Discord. Entering the battlefield, I name myself and Kelly, trying to convince Kelly to attack elsewhere. What I did end up realizing is that my Demon's Trigger would leave the stack if I would die, which makes the whole move nothing more than a bluff. At Kelly's upkeep, she loses 1 from her Simulacrum Soul. She rolls for Mana Crypt and calls it right again. She then adjusts a Swamp and casts Erebos, God of the Dead. Reacting to Erebos' arrival, BT cracks his fetch land for Scattered Grove, gaining 3 life from the bounty. And then, the Black God prevents our wounds from healing. Kelly followed it up with the Whip of Erebos.
So now all your stuff has life link, but none of ours? What is this shenanigans? Oh, no.
I think this is the end, lads.
She goes to combat, and moving through the swamps, she sends 5 zombies and the Dwarf Chief and the Spirit to BT, taking him out. She also sends CDC to Emma. Emma casts Migration Path, fetching 2 basic to her battlefield.
An honorable effort, but I feel like it's too little, too late.
Going out swinging, Arahbo makes the lion into a mighty beast, and the Caracal attacks me with the lion. I block with Vial Smasher and Sower of Discord.
Unable to fast forward time to the next morning, our heroes are limited to the power of their own spells.
I land drop Isolated Chapel and recast Bruse Star. Vial Smasher deals 4 to Kelly. Entering the battlefield, Bruse grants Vial, Double Strike and Lifelink. Realizing my attacks are made quite useless with the God of the Dead on the battlefield, I pass. Kelly finally fails her Mana Crypt trigger, taking 3. She also loses 1 to her spirit. She then drops a Swamp. Coming for blood, she sends 5 zombies to Emma and the rest to me,
claiming these cursed lands as her own.
Looking back at this game, Kelly's amazing starting hand carried her into victory. We will have needed some mass destruction to rebalance the board. Me and Kelly just got our first Mana Crypts, and until now they did not disappoint, taking some slower commander and granting them the speed. BT was off to a great start as well. The Oracle of Muldaya into Gaia's Cradle had a huge impact on the game. He seemed scared of replaying Rhys after the first time it died, or maybe he was just too busy casting big X spells. Emma was unfortunately stuck on very few mana for the whole game, but to be fair, it did go quite fast, with all our opponents having either a Soul Ring or a Crypt. Or a Soul Ring, a Crypt, and a Cradle, looking at you, BT. I'm sure next time the cats will be out for blood. For myself, I was pretty meh game. My hand was very black heavy and I only had 1 black source. Even with my Soul Ring and the pace of the game going so fast, I just couldn't follow. I would have needed my Kelia to cheat my demons and dragons into play. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Tell us in the comment if you enjoyed the type of narration we added in the Halloween special. We're testing the waters as this could be a future concept separated from the regular gameplays. Make sure to subscribe for more, and if you don't know the man yet, just go check BT on BT Gamenight. He does Commander gameplay, 1v1 and multiplayer, and some tournaments as well. I will be submitting a deck to the next tournament, so don't want to miss that. In addition to all of this, he will hopefully start his vintage series very soon. See you soon, and happy Halloween!